Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. Thank you for watching. I am Steve Gray. Are you ready to pay an extra $3,000 for an acoustic that you couldn't even afford at the normal price? Well, let me tell you. The Gibson Golden Era Custom Shop Murphy Lab Age acoustic guitars are here to destroy your bank account if you really like acoustic guitars. Now, we already know there's an extreme multi-thousand-dollar premium if you want to buy like a Gibson R9, a Gibson R7. Gibsons are already expensive, the majority of them as they are, and then you put Murphy Lab on there, and there's no limit to the price. I mean, you know, they sold a $50,000 Greenie guitar. I know in retrospect a lot of that was for the experience, but still, the price of these they're up there. And is it worth it? Well, that's going to be up to you. Is it worth it to me? No. No, even if I wanted one, I wouldn't buy it. Even if I had the money to buy one of these acoustics, I would probably buy an electric because I'll be honest, I am more of an electric guy. Not to say I don't like acoustics, I just prefer electric guitars. But for those acoustic fans, this is for you. For those acoustic fans that have a large expendable budget, I've got a guitar for you, and you will probably love the crap out of it. So let's take a look. The unique character, vibe, and feel of an original example from the Gibson Golden Era, Gibson Custom Shop unveils its first Murphy Lab Age acoustic guitar. They've been doing it with Les Pauls and SGs for quite a while. This is the first time they're actually doing it with some acoustics. The pre-aged vintage feeling acoustics offer loving recreations of the sought-after models from the firm's storied past, from a 1930s L00 to a 1960 Hummingbird. Gibson Custom Shop has debuted its first Murphy Lab acoustic guitars with a range of 5 models that examine some of the firm's most celebrated builds. Going to line up a range of body shapes and sizes representing the brethren of Gibson's catalog, from small body 1933 00 to a 1942 Banner J45, 1942 Banner Jumbo Vintage, 1957 SJ200 Flat Top, and a 1960 Hummingbird. Builds obviously vary greatly model to model, but all feature premium tone ones, periods, correct hardshell cases, and of course the Murphy Lab light aging treatment. And this is probably a start to see who's going to buy them, and then they'll probably do like heavily aged ones later on if these sell decently. Indeed, on the later point, if you're looking for a thoroughly battered blues box, this might not be your bag. Instead, when it comes to the degree of wear involved, the custom shops have kept things pretty conservative, at least for the first batch. As ever, the luxe appointments and attention to detail at the Gibson Shop and Murphy Lab reflect in the premium price, with price tags running from $5,499 through $7,799. So, deep pockets for these, my friends, deep pockets. So here's the 1933. This is one I don't care about, I'll be honest with you. I have played a LOO, and they're smaller and definitely not the acoustic that I would go towards. I mean, if one of these things comes up for a steal, I'm going to buy it, resell it, but yeah. Designed to deliver big tone from a small footprint, the L00 sets the template for many small body guitars. This option apes the black finish that was the standard of the earliest models and features mahogany back and sides, plus a red spruce top, which you can't see it anyway. You'll also find a chunky V-profile neck. Oh my god, I hate V-profile necks. I would hate this thing so much. With a compound dovetail neck to body joint. So the J45 here, 1942, is among Gibson's most celebrated acoustic guitars. This one looks like a regular acoustic. I'd probably grab one. For the defining round-shoulder dreadnought design, here's the custom shop to resist the temptation to dress up the workhorse, letting the simple but beautiful nitro burst finish do the talking. The Adirondack red spruce topped has been thermally aged and bound to the mahogany back and sides with traditional hide glue. There's your Murphy Lab right there using hide glue. Plus there's a bone nut and saddle. Then we have the 1942 Banner Southern Jumbo Vintage, also lightly aged. I like the inlays on this. I believe it's the Super 400 inlays. Like the J45, 1940 SJ bears the famous Banner style, only a Gibson is good enough. Headstock logo found on the Ares builds. Again, you have an aged red spruce, but here's paired with their rosewood back and sides. Okay, getting some different woods there. And then we have the Grand Mac Daddy, probably one of my favorite Gibson acoustics that I will probably never own because, as I said, I love the look of this thing, but I'm really not an acoustic guy. But my God, this thing is pretty. I'm not going to deny it. This is a very, very nice looking guitar. I don't got the crown inlays, crown on the headstock, all the fancy binding, the fancy woods, mustache bridge, but I cannot justify. I can't even justify the normal price of these, let alone $7,000. The best part of $8,000, the so-called king of the flat tops, comes in at an equally regular price, but then it certainly looks like royalty. First, there's the thermally aged Sika spruce top, flame maple back and sides. Then there's the stunning dark vintage sunburst finish. Further, aristocrated finery comes in the form of Goto tuners, mother of pearl, so inlays, graduated crown inlay, floral pickguard, and the distinguished 4-bar mustache bridge. I do really like that bridge. It looks neat. Hummingbird's also a cool acoustic. Got the 1960 here, $6,699. This guitar, seen in the hands of my Red 60 folks, rock icons, though we'd be unlikely to leave a particular hummingbird lying around our local commune. Oh yeah, no, if I had this much money in a guitar, no one's touching that bad boy besides me. The square shoulder build features mahogany back and sides, is it Sika spruce top? I always butcher the name of these woods. That brought us to the vivid life thanks to the light age Murphy Lab finish. And then there's the rosewood bridge, bow nut saddles, Goto tuners, all good stuff there. Hummingbird jokes aside, we think these pieces will fly, not least because the feedback from early demos of the Murphy Lab process seems to have some very real tonal impacts. Okay. I mean, I guess if they're using really old wood, I mean, that is one thing that the Murphy Lab has above, regular USA Gibson is, yes, they are significantly more expensive, but they have a lot better option for wood. Back in the 50s, you could get 100-year-old wood no problem because there wasn't as many people, wasn't as much of a demand. Now trying to find that, 100-plus-year-old wood that's been dried out to perfection is kind of rough, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's what they're using on a lot of this stuff. I know it's not Brazilian rosewood on the fretboards, but I'm sure they can find some old Indian rosewood lying around or something, bolting that vintage sound, so alongside the obvious visual appeals, so if we can also go to the Gibson website. So, I mean, I brought up the Murphy Lab ones. I mean, we already kind of went through the prices, but just for a price comparison, so the JS200, $7,799, compared to the regular version, I gotta find it. Hold on, let's scroll back up. $5,599. So either way, it's expensive. Don't get me wrong. It's not something that is gonna be cheap. Even the hummingbird. You find a hummingbird here. Let's change the color. $4,000 for a regular hummingbird. This one, you're over $2,700 premium on the Murphy Lab. So, I mean, ultimately, this is going to be up to the consumer. Is it worth it? Is the price of these things worth it? I think, do they still have the studio models that were a wee bit cheaper? Let's see if I can find them. Because they had like a studio version, I think. Yeah, studio one. Yeah, even like the cheaper versions of these things are $3,500. I guess you could always go Epiphone, but Epiphone, to my knowledge, is not known for acoustics. But at the end of the day, it's up to the buyer. Will people buy these? Probably. Rich guys will hang them on their walls. Famous players I can think, will probably pick one of these up. But it takes a special person, and they're probably not going to make that many of these things. That much I can tell you. There's not going to be a huge amount of people buying these, so they're probably not going to make more than a couple hundred per guitar. And they'll probably make them as needed. So, someone orders them up, okay, let's put another one together. Tell them, sorry, you got to wait 6 months, but you'll get it. You'll get it. So let me know your thoughts. I don't see myself being able to, have enough disposable income to want to purchase one of these until like about 30 years from now. That's my guess. But I do want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Other than that, thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. And as always, have a good one.